I'm on the table, and so is Iron Brew. Yes, hello everybody, no more Iron Brew for you, and welcome to the table again, where we're looking at another camcorder. Yes, this does seem to be taking over from the regular parts of my general YouTube channel. I mean, we've gone through toy reviews, we've gone through weird videos, we've gone through acting, we've gone through VR chat, and now we're on to video cameras. So, you know, the channel's developing in a lot of weird ways, but, what you gonna do about it? Anyway, today, as you've read the description, we are looking at a Ferguson Video Star. Yes, Ferguson Video Star. Now, who are Ferguson? Ferguson are a company that had rights to certain products from another company. So, yeah, it's a battery charger. And they produced various camcorders, of which this is the one we're looking at today. As I said, the FC25. Or is it the JVC GR-60, I think this one is. Instruction manual, yes, GR-60. I get confused between the 60 and the 65. Because, moving things aside, the FC25 is a carbon copy of the JVC GR-60. As I mentioned, Ferguson had the rights to basically take and produce their own camcorders based off the JVC design, so they came out with very, very minimal changes. Now, there is a tiny possibility this might be based off the GR-65, but we're going to go with 25, as there are a few differences. For example, the full auto focus here is a single button, whereas here it's this, and the focus is a press. The buttons are different. These are the same. You see it says here it's a blurb about autofocus, etc., and on-off pipe. You've got buttons up here, which are, you know, more or less there, and the front is, you know, you get the point. And no, the lens cap doesn't fit on here. I tried. But yes, we're not actually necessarily looking at the JCV. I just wanted to bring up the fact that it's the same camera, because this one doesn't actually work. And after this review is going in the bin once I strip it of spare parts, i.e. the viewfinder, because these viewfinders have an excellent ability to basically sit off like that and easily swapped around, something I'm actually genuinely thankful for. So yes, that's the end of the JCV GR-60, of which the only part that will remain is the manual, because let's be fair, it's the same camera, and it's always useful to have a manual. Anyway, excuse me. Yes, the Ferguson FC25, a camera released, I believe, in 1989 as the clock camera. When you don't replace the CR35 battery, it comes up as the first of the 12th 89. So I'm going to believe this was released in 1989. It's an interesting camera. This particular model cost me a whole 50 pence on eBay and came listing that the viewfinder didn't work. Of course, the viewfinder works absolutely fine. There's a trick to getting it working, but I'll explain it to you later. Let's just have a quick look at the other bits and pieces. In fact, the only other bit and piece we have is it uses the standard JCV type battery. This is one of my reproduction ones. I haven't got a normal one. I've got one over there, but not in reach. So yes, these are just reproduction batteries. They have two metal prongs here, and that's it. And JCV used this design of battery from 1983 until about 1990, 92-ish. So these batteries are very cheap, very easy to get, which makes all of these older cameras very easy to regain and use, which is fantastic. But I think they're still charging that. We're not looking at, that was about 30 quid as well, so it's not exactly expensive. So let's have a look at our camera to start with, and we'll start with this side. In fact, let's actually, before we do start, let's plug it in so we've got a power supply. So it's got this nice little catch here. I like that. You slip it in like this, and then you lock it up, and this catches in place, and we're just going to kind of turn it on. So we start over on this side of the screen. As I mentioned before when we were looking at the C60, full auto, focus, white balance, and shutter speed. You don't need to press these buttons or these ones if you're using the full focus, which is what I used. Full focus. You've got a nice little screen here that has a counter on it with a memory to remember the number and a reset to make it go back to 0. Pretty standard stuff, although having a screen was actually really nice, especially one placed there. It made it very simplistic to use. On the top, we've got a memory button, image reverse, and color. Now, as I said, I did actually read the instruction menu, and I'm not 100% sure what these do. I believe these are for superimposing still images over the top of a picture to make a title screen. I really need to sit down and read, but I didn't quite understand that. And yes, this has been super glued on. It's also been chewed by a bird. This one came from the 60. It's one of the parts that I took off and glued on. We have the tape holder as well, with the eject button, so if I just pull that down. The eject is a little bit funny on this one, and you do have to give it a bit of a a bit of a release like that. The spring-loading mechanism is dying slightly, but that doesn't matter. Let's pull out Rat-a-Tat, which of course is our test tape. You just slip the tape in there as such and close it, and it should go through the motions. And as you can see now, we're on 9993, which means I can do the reset. Ta-da! That's how that works. But on this side, we have all your standard controls: power on and off, record button, which you have to push first to set it into record mode. Instant record, no idea what that is, never used it. Audio dub for, dubbing audio over a already made video. Quick review, which as far as I'm aware should rewind the past 40 odd and then just play it straight through the viewfinder so you can have a look at it. I never used that. Rewind, play, forward for observing the video, pause, stop, and dubbing on or off. I keep that off, plus the eject button as we've looked. Now on the top here we have the settings for the internal clock. So when you put a new battery in, it flashes up and you basically have to go through with select to go along the menu and set to change the time. Or it might be the other way around. I did this at like 2 in the morning, the day before we went out. And then you press the date and time button to decide what actually appears on the viewfinder. So you can have the date, or just the time, or the date and the time, or you can set it so the date and the time only appear for the first time you turn the camera on. So they turn on for 5 seconds, and then they disappear, which is the setting I went with, which also means that you can see when the camera was actually powered down. Although, to be fair, I did not power them down much at all. Sub-trigger, no idea what that is, didn't use it, should read the instruction manual. Off and record time, so assumably the amount of time you spent recording, that would make a lot of sense, he says as he looks through the viewfinder. Yes, so it just appears. I didn't use it, I should have, so I knew how long I was going, because we didn't. My only way of checking at the time was actually pulling the tape out and looking. On this side, we have the viewfinder swing here, which, as I said, is quite easy to swap out, and by the looks of it, you might be able to get a different monitor. The zoom and away, the battery holder, a DC container, the strap, which is useful wearing out, the alarm, which I believe is a battery alarm, not 100% sure, don't care, and the start button. As I said, you have to push this button, which puts it into record mode, which on the screen here you can say, focus, white balance, and shutter. So focus is auto, white balance is auto, and shutter is standard. I believe you change the shutter in different light conditions, and then you push the record button. As that, it beeps. And we are, as you can see right there, recording now. And it is as simple as that to get the camera going, which is great. Now I'm just going to quickly double check to make sure that record time is what I thought it was. It's not doing anything, but I don't really care. So that's recording on it. Nice and simple. I'm going to stop the recording. Come around this side, there's not much else to describe. A piece has just fallen off and I don't know what it's from. And at the front, you've got your white balance and your autofocus sensor. A bit dirty, but not too bad. As I said, I've got no lens cap for this, unfortunately, which is a shame. But what can you do? You can see it attempting to focus. Now, the main problem I had when it came to getting close shots is it does have a macro function, which is... Oh, gosh, it's... Can't remember where it is. Here we go. So it's M, and basically to get macro is this distance. So this is super close. But I kept forgetting to turn the focus back to manual. So you'd set it on, and it had a habit, especially when I was very close, because this is the sort of distance you wanted it to be to see the birds, and it had a habit of just kind of focusing itself back in, which is a shame. Now, normally that will be the end of it, but there are buttons on the bottom as well. This is where the GR-60 battery is stored. I can't get that off at the moment. Come on. No, I will not be defeated by this camera. I will not be defeated by this camera. There we go. So a CR25, that's a fresh new one, which is a good thing. That's the clock battery, and I think it uses the internal memory as well. And these buttons down here, which I read what the BLC did after the day, and it would have been very useful to know, but fader is very simple. It causes the video to fade in and out when you hit the record button. So you only have to press it, and then it's activated. Weird place to put it, but fair enough, because you sort of put your hand here to hold it. But the BLC... So I didn't know what this was, but when I researched it, basically, if the light in the background is very, very strong, the thing you're looking at, especially if it's small, becomes basically black and you can't see it. You push this button, and that more or less fixes the issue by reducing the light coming in from around the sides. I wish I'd known this, because there's a decent amount of footage that I've got that I know you cannot see what it is because of the light in the background. So that's a fault on my half. But as I said, I did actually sit down and read some of the instruction manual. Which I said, this is the GR-60 instructions, but it is the same camera, minus the tiniest amount of information. And, you know, I do actually read instruction manuals when I get them. Yay. There is one other thing that we forgot to look at on the bottom, which we'll have a quick look, but it's a pretty standard thing, really. Because on the bottom, right here, is the tracking, and you need to have the tracking set right on the thing's going to work. But yes, that's the general look around of the Ferguson FC25/GR-60, but we're looking at the Ferguson FC25. Which means now we get to move on to the fun bit of the review that everybody wants to see, which is the video footage of birds. And once again, of course, I went to Tropical Birdland, this time with a friend of mine. We've gone around together. Great. And I've got the full tape of video footage. We don't normally fill up a full tape of video footage. This is it. It was a brand new tape as well, because I decided to use a brand new tape for this, for the fairness, which is what I'm going to start doing in the future with these. But yeah, I've got a pile of these now. It's great, isn't it? But yes, that's enough of this. Let's move on and have a look at the video footage. Yes.
Oh, it is.
Hello.
Just like, look what I got.
Can I have that?
He's like, no, it's mine.
Ah, there we go. Oh. Nope. We'll be back. Would you like a nut, my friend? No? That's fair. Aiden started talking. Peekaboo. 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 Ah, there we go. Oh, I want to see him go in your hood.
Come on, mate. Let's go on the shoulder. Let's go on the shoulder. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, that's my nose.
Are you going to poo? You are. You do a big poo. Are you coming for a nut? You seem really keen for a nut today.
Oh, I know, mate. I bet you're hungry, aren't you?
Every single time. Look, we'll give you one more chance, all right? Here you go. Here's a beautiful nut for you. Yeah. That will never get old, will it? There we go. Ooh. Go. I like flamingos. They're such a weird bird. You want some fruity tooty?
Like a friend of the orange. You like orange? Yeah.
No, he didn't want your orange.
You're saving that for later, aren't you, mate?
Quite possibly. Wanted a nut.
Well, these are nut birds then. No one gets my fruit.
He took the nut. Oh, are you going to steal it? Who's going to get to the nut first? It's a nut race.
Want to do the apple?
Nope.
Nope.
Good time. Now, you look totally fed up with existence, so I don't know if you do want to know. I'm going to offer you one. Lovely. He's talking to us. Hello.
He does, doesn't he?
He does. Let's give.
Hello.
Hello. What's this weird thing? Would you like one of these? Yes.
Straight in there, look at him.
Basically fed the entire aviary at this point.
Oh, you're shifted. Oh, he's an old boy, look at him.
Oh, he took that so gently. They do make some interesting noises, these birds.
I love it.
I know, I do too. Rah. I haven't got any fruit for you. It's all his and he dropped it on the floor.
It is this guy here making that noise.
It's that guy over there.
No, it's this one right here.
No, it's that guy over there. Watch him when the noise happens. Watch that one at the back. You see how his beak's moving?
Maybe he's snoring.
You see it?
No.
Do you not see the one at the back?
I see him, but I don't see his beak moving.
Watch the bottom mandible. It's definitely 100% him. It's also sending the autofocus wacko. It is my goal every time I come here to get some video footage of the hoop bird. And that's actually really good. Look at you, photo-bombing my shot. Hello, beautiful birdies. Now, I don't want you to fight, but I know you will.
I know these are nutbirds, so I'm not even going to try.
Yep, okay. Well, here you go. Give it to him.
Hey, Brendo. Hey, Boogie. Yeah, what is you?
All these lovely birds, and you're interested in a piggin. He's like, no, the camera's looking at me. Quick, run, run. I'm a military macaw, so... to approach the hornbill and see if he is interested in the camera today. Oh, you're in the corner.
Where are you sleeping?
He was calling out. They're just dinosaurs. He's not interested today.
No.
Which I am okay with.
He looks tired.
He does.
I think it's funny though.
Interesting bird. It's a stunted ostrich.
With literal dinosaur legs.
Oh yeah, them dinosaur legs. I mean, they are evolved from dinosaurs. Screw you, Christianity.
Oh!
That's not what I expected. That is totally not what I had expected. Would you like the nut? You stole my hat.
Oh.
Yeah, mate, I know.
When they fly.
Oh, it's an English bee. Hello. Hello. Up. Come on. Ooh. You just want to chew the fingers. Oh, he reminds me of Norwich. Oh, except Norwich never bit me like you are right now, you little shit. I can't move without crushing them and I don't want to. This is madness and I love it.
colourful. You must want some fruit.
I think so.
Here we go, baby.
You want the fruit? Ooh,
Snatchy.
he didn't even hesitate there, just like yoink.
Snatchy, snatchy. And off I go.
He's like,
You want to make a squid?
hey buddy. Are you taking that inside? You're not going to eat it there today. Hello. How you doing? Oh, okay. You yeah. Okay. Let me find one. I'm looking for one.
I believe that would be pronounced Stachoria.
Look at my camera. Are you going to bite the lens? No. I had somebody do that before. Oh no. Don't bite the lens. It only cost me 50p. Hello. How you doing? How you doing? Hello, ringnecks. You alright? You on me? Uh-oh. You meanie, Delilah.
A bit of orange, Delilah.
No. I want to stand on you and chew everything in sight.
Okay, come on then, Delilah.
There was no hesitation there. See your bag.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello.
I can't quite reach, buddy. You're going to have to lean down a bit more. Oh. I wanted to stop you. Mate. Wait, are you... Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Okay, tell you what, you take that one.
Hello.
Here you go. Yay! There we go. And let's put that out here.
Would you like this one now? I don't think he does. You want to try it again? It's a tricky one. Haha. Here you go. There you go. Look at this pigeon. Would you like a little bit of a walnut? Oh. Hello. Hello. Oh, I've only got one nut. Hello. Hello. Oh, you're both saying hello. 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 You want handling as well?
Not slow.
Hey, baby. Not for you. There we go.
Oh,
He really can't see.
no. Yeah, I know. This is a bad idea. That was a bad idea. It worked.
Already knows that you
Delilah wants you.
pick me up a few times.
Hello, Delilah. Are you coming back to school? Oh, 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 you got away. Oh, this arm. Okay. Oh, it's over there now. Go on then. To be fair, you've already, the bird, you can't do any worse than anything else anybody else has done, haven't you? Still, I think you still got that button as well, haven't you?
Yep.
Yep, still got the button, haven't you?
Got the button on the strap now. Oh God, I'm going to choke the rope. Don't do that. I don't want to be garroted because I like breathing. It's good for me. Yes, it is.
Well, that was a fun trip. Yeah, not going to lie, really, really impressed with the capabilities of this camera. I accept this is the late 80s, early 90s, so you're going to expect the video footage to be better than, say, the Hitachi VK600, which is an early 80s camera. But I think that this thing is on par, if not better, than the Panasonic NVG2, which, as you know, if you've watched my other video, you know I have a very high regard for. I found the camera genuinely very easy to use, to pick up and learn, just to do stuff, because it's all basically automatic, which is kind of what you want. I don't know how much this camera cost back in the day, but I bet it was a lot. And it was a move in the direction of this sort of shaped camcorder, which is kind of how everything went with JCV, which is a good thing, because obviously we've gone from your shoulder mounted to, well, we've gone from your handheld wired ones to your shoulder mounted to your large bulky ones. That one's coming up, don't worry, to this. And of course, it just proceeded to get smaller and smaller. So yes, I was very pleased with this camera and the way it progressed. The battery lasted all the way through. I had no problems with it whatsoever, minus that little BLC problem, which there is a solution on the camera that I did not use. So can't really blame anyone else for that. So at the end of the day, these cameras aren't that expensive. As I said, a working 60 is 30 to 50 pounds, depending on where you buy it from. Mine was about 30 pounds, but it doesn't work. It did work when I showed up, and when I put the battery in now, it just clicks, it doesn't turn on, so it's useless. But I said this one was 50 pence, mainly because they said the viewfinder didn't work, but of course the viewfinder doesn't start working until you set it to record, because that's how the viewfinder works. And even if it didn't work, I knew I had a spare. So it was brought on a punt, but as a punt buy, I am genuinely very, very pleased. Oh, this one actually has a focusing thing that I didn't notice, and you can open it. There we go, that's what the inside of that looks like. As I am genuinely very, very pleased with this camcorder, and much like pretty much every other camcorder that I've brought on here, minus the weather cam, sod that thing, this is probably going to end up being one of the ones that goes into consideration when I go to conventions and things that require an old look, because of my own personal thoughts, but not necessarily the best look. Also, you can see the date I went on. But yeah, good camera. Would highly recommend either the GR-60 or the FC25. But obviously the FC25 for this video. Anyway, if you like this content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Did you own one of these cameras back in the day? Was it a good camera? Was it a bad camera? Did you manage to drop it down a ravine where it was eaten by angry cockatoos before being shut out by a whale? That'll be one hell of a tape if I left that recording. I will pay you to see that tape. And yeah, have a lovely day. Toodly pips everybody, and pipply toods everybody. Just in case you were curious, yes, the viewfinders do actually swap round and work perfectly. I hadn't actually tested it before this video, so yay, preparations! Bye everybody. You can see me ever so slightly in the reflection of the view lens.